What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. I told you I'm going to try to bring it. I just said it. And today we are talking. We're almost there, everybody. We're almost at the end. We're going to be talking about episode 9 and 10 of the Uncanny Counter Season 2 Counter Punch. Woo! So sit back, relax, and turn it to 11.
Okay, so what was I saying about Gelly? I'm just kidding. All right, so in the beginning of this episode, obviously you see Miss Gelly literally erasing Somun's memories. And for some apparent reason, I'm thinking, why does that matter?
Like, right,
why does erasing his memory matter?
But it does, apparently.
Yeah, it's a big issue, apparently. And I think that it didn't make sense where Mr. Huang even knew. He was like, no, what are you doing? Stop it. And she's like, what if the memories that made what you have now is gone? What would happen? And I'm like, yeah, what would happen? But why would it be necessary, especially for what happens later on in the episode?
You know why? Because consent matters.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
right.
If
he doesn't remember, he didn't consent to being possessed by, the counterparts.
Right. I wouldn't want my memories to be erased from Miss Gelly. I want to remember her. You know what I'm saying? I want to remember her.
Man, you're going to be super disappointed by the end of this episode. So, let's keep going.
Anyway, we see everybody just tripping out because what happens? He loses his perm.
Yep. His perm
perm's gone. Yeah, he got that hairstyle around the time that Bruno Mars came out with that song Perm. Put some perm on you, like play the musical clip.
You need to take a minute. Loosen them shoulders up. Blow it up. That's what you throw some perm on your head too. Come on, yo.
Did he play it? He played it. Yeah, I think he played it.
We'll find out. They'll strike us, YouTube.
and you instantly think they're gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
their powerhouse is gone. Mm-hmm. Like it took both of them and Gelly to literally subdue Somun. Somun is a force to be reckoned with. Or is that the right term? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
He was intense for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just thought, wow. Like at the end of the episode 8, I was just like, the rest of this show is gonna be whack.
I was like, what's going to happen? I was freaking out, for sure. So when episode 9 came around and they were, and it's pretty much where it left off. You have Somun going unconscious,
right?
Because he was in a coma, so he had to go unconscious, which still doesn't make sense, but we're not semantics or whatnot, So he goes unconscious. And then, everybody else is like, oh, dang, we did. We ain't going to make it out of this one.
Exactly. And then you have Jokbong's guardian saying, you got to get someone out of there. Save him. And if you don't, we're all dead.
Oh, yeah. And then Weijin? Weijin disappears, right? She's like becoming transparent and then poof, gone. And so all the other counterparts are just like, what the heck? Where's Weijin? So yeah, they're totally freaking out. Yeah, and they're trying to tell the counters, you got to get Somun out of there. And they're trying real hard. But you have Mr. Huang, who is unhinged at the best.
He got mad all of a sudden to boost the power to knock 2 people off of his body.
I mean, he's been planning this for who knows how long. I don't know how much time has spanned from the moment he met Somun to the moment of now, right? I'm guessing maybe we could argue a couple months, maybe.
I was thinking a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, I could. You know what? You're right. Because it doesn't look that the weather. Because the weather looks like it's getting colder, and it definitely doesn't look like it got that cold. A couple months probably would have made it already colder. So I'll agree with that. Couple weeks. Planning, I'm gonna take this boy's power. I'm gonna become the strongest, most powerful evil spirit of all time. They're gonna be writing me, history in the notebooks and whatnot.
Writing me letters.
History in the notebooks. I don't think that's right English.
History in the notebooks, baby.
History in the notebooks.
Now it's the right term.
Yeah. He was super pissed, and Getty is like just laughing hysterically.
Yeah, she looked kind of weird when she did that.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, NGL. you know. But I accept it. I accept Gelly. And
you good for you.
yeah. You see everything going down, and you see Gelly getting choked out by Mr. Huang. And
Yep.
who saves Gelly? Miss Chu. And of course, he only saves him because if Mr. Huang were to kill Gelly, he could absorb her power.
And become even stronger.
Like Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good reference.
Yeah, Except that he doesn't have to absorb her body.
True.
Through
We
his
get the
tail.
reference.
He guys
becomes
get it.
better.
You guys get it. You guys get it. And, you know, I was thinking about it, too. I was just like, if a evil spirit absorbs another evil spirit, they become a perfect spirit or something like that, or like a complete spirit, right? But they don't if they take a counter's spirit.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, that's a stronger entity, right? You know, I'm thinking about it, a stronger entity. Unless it's So Moon Spirit, which is probably the equivalent of that of a level 3 spirit or higher.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really understand the semantics when it comes to the power scale on a counter.
We
and
need
an
a
evil
a
spirit.
chart that
Yeah.
that starts putting people in their right places. It goes,
Right.
well, if you have this and you're like this level, and if you're like that, you get this
Right.
level and all this stuff. Yeah, because there are. I feel like as great as the show is, there
Mm-hmm.
are. In my opinion, and if other people might understand it a little bit better, but there are like holes in some of these, like the theories behind the evil spirits and their powers and the counters and their power. I'm just like, some of this stuff doesn't make sense because as we've been arguing, right, Mr. Ma having the ability to now talk through the territories and see the territories and all this other and Mr. Huang having the ability to use psychokinetic powers before absorbing the counter's powers. I was like, is it because they can just, like anything else, we're assuming that they can evolve just like So Moon evolved to have psychokinetic powers? Is that why we are now assuming that the evil spirits can also have that ability? And if so, then why hasn't they been doing that since the beginning of evil spirits? So that's why I'm a little confused about the whole, like, why do you have this power? Is it just because you're now fighting a stronger enemy, in this case, the counters? So you are evolving to be able to fight against the counters? That's the only real argument that I can see that makes sense.
I think in this case for Mr. Ma, he had a level 3 spirit consume him.
Oh, he has something.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a level 3. I think it's like unregistered.
Yeah. Bounty canceled. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was definitely it's strong.
It is a definitely strong
and
spirit.
That goes to show how strong Mr. Ma was when he was resisting most of its, I guess, charm or charisma. I don't know, like most of its taunting and
Possession ability,
possession
desires, or
like
whatever you
you
want to
didn't
call it.
know it was possessing him, you know.
He was fighting it hard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was
and he still
scrapping
is. He still
in
is. He
mentals,
still wants to. He's just trying to get his revenge. And I still stand by the fact that the reason why this demon hasn't been able to absorb him completely is because in the end he isn't seeking to harm everybody. He's just seeking to harm specific people, the people who are involved in Minji's death.
Yep.
And in his mind, he thinks the moment he's done with that, he's like, okay, now you can arrest me, kill me, whatever you want to do with me, right? So and that's why he's different from other people who are been possessed by evil spirits, is because he's not evil, but inherently
Nature.
evil.
Yeah, his nature is
right?
evil.
So I think that's the case. But so to go back to what we were talking about, so they're having this whole issue. It looks like they're about to go down, right? And they're trying to get, and you see that Hana and Jukbum are like wrestling to get Somun out of that room, and they're like picking him up, but they're getting pulled back and all this stuff. And who comes through the elevator? This part was amazing. I was jumping up and down. I was like, "What? This is so cool, Mr." What did you call him? You called him
Director Choi.
Yeah, no, but you gave him a different name.
Oh, Machine Gun Choi.
Machine Gun Choi comes through the freaking door with a LMG and just like starts spraying like a mofo.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Even though they're evil spirits, they're in human bodies. I was like,
No, they'll die.
Yeah. I'll just say, don't do it.
And he's like, jo. And I'm like, yo, this is the sickest thing. And then the second thing that came through my mind was, where in the world did you get a LMG? Yo, you got connections through the dark web.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't just IKEA or Jiangxi. I think that's the name of this building. Yeah, no, I'm just like, how do you have? Did he always have that?
He had it sitting in the back room. When he invited everybody to come to the storage facility or whatever, he's like, you can go to any room but that one. It's John Wick basement right back down there.
I think he got it from the counters online shopping mall. Right. Definitely, because I was just like, you don't just have that kind of stuff there, and
yeah, no,
I mean,
definitely
it's not available. Unless,
that gun is most definitely illegal in most states, if not probably all the states in the U.S. It's definitely illegal for the entire country of Korea.
Oh yeah, for sure, and I think
South Korea. I just want to specify. I don't want nobody telling me otherwise.
You know nothing about anywhere else.
So, yeah. But that was crazy. That was like my favorite moment of probably episode 9 altogether.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been funny if like he came in like tank top or something like that, like super like just like Rambo looking.
That would have been sick.
That would have been tight.
With the
headband, yeah. Has to be a headband, man. And it's just like
the freaking war paint under his eyes and stuff. That would
like
be so funny.
Make your like your mouth like in a weird angle slant.
Big combo.
Yeah.
Knife in his side over here.
Yeah,
shoot.
you really get to think like counters had to summon these spirits. But I was like, have they never ever thought of getting a super competent soldier? Can you imagine a
soldier fighting them?
counter?
Oh
yeah. My goodness! Like it didn't matter
Good at
what
combat,
level you are. Yeah, because you're just a spirit. You know what I mean? The spirit doesn't know how to fight a soldier unless the spirit itself was a soldier at one point.
Right. I mean, I would make the argument that Motok is probably the closest thing to it.
Yeah,
because
he's
a police officer, so I'm guessing he had some form of martial training or combat training, right? And being that they're in Korea, he also probably had combat training because he had to serve in the army.
Enlist. That's right.
So there's probably a little bit of that for sure.
And Somun hasn't enlisted yet,
right?
Because he's technically only 18, I believe. Or no, well now he'd be 20. Technically, he could have done it while not.
I think there's an age like range, like as long as you do it before you're this old.
Yeah, I think it's like 27 or 28.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right, because isn't that what BTS did? They like, oh, okay, we're about to reach our limit. We have to go and serve.
Yeah, BTS did it. So did EXO, and I believe Big Bang did it too. They waited to the end.
Right. So I think there's that age. So you know he can go anytime he needs.
Yeah.
Right before he hits 27.
But yeah, Machine Gun Choi was he was
So
he was
good.
about it.
So good.
He was about it for sure.
Yeah. So that whole situation happens. He luckily gets them enough to get through. I think he did. He scraped the Mr. Ma in the arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I was a little bit like, bro. There's like 200, 300 rounds in
a narrow hallway, like
and you
three
couldn't
narrow
hit
hallways.
nobody except for like a little bit of a shoulder. Like, come on.
Unless he's not practicing, not training with that gun.
I mean, it's probably got a heck of recoil on it too. It's like,
right? Yeah, like a whole satchel kind of like.
Yeah, and then he had the whole satchel.
Yeah.
It's like just in case I run out. But that was so funny. And then right as they're getting to the elevator, Mr. Huang psychokinesis holds. Who was it? He was trying. Oh, it was Motok. And Motok was like, ugh! And then he finally did his Superman punch on him when he like wham and knocked him. Yeah. I was like, good job.
That was nice.
I knew it was gonna come in handy.
Yeah, I was just like, Motok being kind of debuffed in this season was kind of off-putting a little bit, especially what happened to him in the first season, with once he got his memory back. I'm all like, come on, man, like don't take away some of his strength. And to see him do that rocket punch out of nowhere was really nice. He should have said like gum or something like that,
Gum bazooka.
Gum no. And I think that was really nice. So when they were able to escape, and literally that was like a nice breath of fresh air for me, because I'm like, how are you gonna get out of here? And I'm like, in my head though, when I thought that, I was just like, only Director Choi can do that, because he's the only one that would know that they're up there. I did not think he had that whole machine gun going on. What was it? What kind of gun was it?
I just know it was a freaking machine gun.
Machine gun, yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me on the specifics.
I thought you said what it was earlier, but yeah.
It was some kind of. I don't know if it's an LMG. They said it was a submachine gun, but submachine guns are small. From my Call of Duty playing, submachine guns are small. LMGs are the bigger ones. So
yeah. I don't know what I'm not up there on the gun knowledge there. Still though, that was the last thing I thought of. I just knew that he had to be the one to save him. I thought he was gonna like maybe destroy
I didn't think he was coming at all.
Oh, I knew he was coming. There's no way he's not gonna be a part of that. I thought, okay, the first idea was he's gonna collapse the floor below.
Like explosion.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Wow, I didn't think of that at all.
Yeah, that was one way.
Director Choi was nowhere in my mind.
Second, helicopter.
Matrix style, like
No, not with a gun. Not with a gun. But
But
I thought he was just gonna kind of, fly through into the building, and then that was the second. That was before they got up to the top, because I believe there was no windows up there. It was only to the penthouses, and I think those are the only two options that I thought that he'd come through. But no, he goes through the elevator. I was like, how did he get that gun on there?
That's a good question, actually. That is a very valid question. How did he get that gun through the front and have nobody going,
I ain't see no cases on the floor.
I think I need to call 911.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there's so many things that we had to unravel about that scene, but it was an amazing scene. It was epic.
I loved it. I loved every second.
And now everybody's trying to get someone's powers back.
Yeah, he's unconscious once
Yeah,
again.
and he's in a coma.
Doesn't know what the heck is happening.
Yeah, he lost his perm, of course. We all, as we said earlier. And so we have Hana.
Permless.
We have Hana, who is a specialist in going into people's subconsciousness, I believe. Yeah, like almost like going into their dreams.
Yeah, and I think she has the strongest connection with Somoon. That's why
Yeah.
we wanted him,
Yeah, but no, she got one stronger with Dohee or whatever, Dewey or whatever.
Dewey. Don't be hating on Dewey, man. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's not Somoon.
He's a good guy, yeah.
And he doesn't even remember her anymore anyway, so.
Yeah.
It's like, he's definitely out of the picture.
Old news, right? If anything, she should have erased his memory from herself.
But
she
do that?
No, she didn't.
No,
Because
can't she do that? Because she
Gelly could have, but Gelly's a bad guy.
Right. She would probably go like, oh, let me remove the memories of you signing your contract. That you lose 2 of them.
Right, exactly. Oh, geez. And so she tries to go and into Someone's, mind or I guess subconscious.
His
Is it
subconscious? Yeah, his subconscious
and
for sure.
And then she sees him, and he is like a shell of what he used to be. He wasn't even the weakling he was before he was with Wiegand and the crew. He felt like everything was his fault, like prior to the accident.
Yeah.
Or after the accident.
Yeah.
He thought everything was his fault. And everything that's happened so far is his fault.
Well, you have to also remember that he thinks everybody's dead, right? Because the last thing he saw was everybody like laying on the floor almost dying. And it's the last view he had. So in his mind, he thinks he's at fault for the death of all his crew because he wasn't able to save them.
Yep.
Because he wasn't strong enough. So yeah, definitely.
Yep.
He's definitely a shell of himself, terrified, regretful, So
there's a little hole though. So he forgot how he got his powers, but he didn't forget that he was just scrapping with 2 evil spirits. Nothing tells him or nothing tells us that he shouldn't. What I'm trying to say is there's no way he would have known that he could fight those evil spirits without those past memories. So
I didn't think about that.
And so I'm just like, how is it that he's worried about a future that hasn't happened yet? Because there's no way he could have gotten into that situation if those things didn't happen.
Okay, I'm going to argue that the reason is because she's in connection, she's in communication with his subconscious mind, right? And your subconscious mind retains more information than your conscious mind. So I can make the argument that Gilly only removed what was in his conscience, but not what's in his subconscious, right? Your subconscious is aware of so much more that you're not aware of at all times, right? So that's what I would say, that his subconscious is still, maybe he doesn't remember signing the contract and stuff, but he does remember the friends that he had, right? Which is Gilly and Gilly, Motak and Hana and Miss Choi and all that. Miss Chu.
She is not married yet.
Soon.
We know.
But yeah, so that's my argument to defend that plot hole.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot more sense because I was just like, how is he mad at something that happened in the future after he forgot about past?
Right.
To get to that future. It didn't make any sense to me. But you're right. Subconscious, it's something that you don't have control over
because
most of the time.
Think it like this. When somebody gets amnesia, it's not that their memory is gone, it's that they're unable to unlock it, right? So what people try to do in some cases, is they try to activate their subconscious because their subconscious might be able to awaken that memory back up.
Right.
Right. So I'm guessing that's kind of what happens with these people is they don't really remove your memory. They just lock it away somewhere where you can't reach it, which is usually your subconscious. That's what I'm arguing. That's how they use that power.
That's a good argument. And I'm gonna follow you on that one.
Yep.
And so with everything going on, Hana is thinking, I don't know how we're gonna do this. He seems afraid. He doesn't want to like bother anyone doesn't want to be bothered and doesn't want to hurt anybody. So Hana obviously can sense that he's kind of hostile even towards friends or people that look like his friends. Like you said earlier, he thinks they're dead, and Hana showed up in front of him out of nowhere. Yeah, he's definitely thinking that he's seeing hallucinations.
Yeah.
and yeah, everything's his fault.
Well, and he's seeing a hallucination of Giddy in his memories too, or in his subconscious as well, right? She's like behind him, like hugging him and like whispering evil things.
That's true.
So yeah, he thinks everything is a freaking.
So is Huang, and even Chon Sin from the first season.
Yeah.
He's there.
Right.
And
so he's seeing all these people, and he's like, when he sees Hana, he doesn't think it's her.
Right.
He thinks it's just another figment of his imagination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and while all this is going on, Motok is trying to figure out how to find Lee Chung-jae, the CEO of the Bakdu company, and
the worst of the two.
Oh man, seriously. And he needs to find like a source, and only Miss Chu knows, and they have to go back to Jae-yul, the young kid that she saved back in like 10 years prior when she first became a counter. And I never understood why she went around him. I was like, why does she owe this kid anything? If anything, she saved him when he was a kid, right? Mm-hmm. And then he was able to actually talk it out with her. And she's like, actually, no, you put me... Technically, he put her on the map for being a counter. Like, if it wasn't for him, she would not have been the Miss Chu that we all love and love today. And I was just like, okay, I guess that's more of like a personal thing, like for her. And I guess that's more of a character growth on Miss Chu's side, even though that she didn't need any growth. We already know her son is her
counterpart.
Counterpart. That's
what I call him.
Her counterpart. Yeah.
Her counterpart.
Her son is her counterpart, and
that's what I've been calling them this entire time.
I think they're called like an immigration crew, spirit immigration. crew.
It's like it also sounds like what's the place they go to?
Oh,
Young, right?
Young, yeah.
It almost sounds like Young. I think is what they're called. Like their group of people. Mm-hmm. It's called like Young or something like that as well. But I didn't know what they were called, so I just called them their counterpart because
I'm pretty sure that
I'm a rapper.
They're spirit immigration people, I believe. If I remember Asian Wiki correctly, that's the name of the group that they call
Spirit immigration.
Mm-hmm.
What are we making sure that people don't cross illegally or something?
I guess the evil ones. The evil ones.
I can see that actually. Make sure that they they get deported back to hell. That's so good.
It's a little much.
That makes sense though.
But that's from Asian Wiki, so don't don't
hilarious.
At me. Am I moving this table? I'm my bad if I am.
No, you're not.
I'm a little heavy. And
you're perfectly heavy. You're welcome.
Anyway. And so you see that Jae-yul and Miss Chu is having that moment. She's like, go to the cops and we'll figure everything else out. This and that, whatever. She wants him to do right. She's like, you're still young. And I was just like, true. I don't know how the justice system is out there, but it feels over here like that's 10 years out, guarantee. Like for the stuff that he did, I'm for sure, maybe not 10, maybe like 7. But
well, with a plea bargain or whatever, a plea deal or something, maybe it's cut down a little short.
Maybe 5, maybe 3.
And then good behavior out in parole in 2 years or something.
That's true, but I mean, to start all over with a conviction, that's kind of rough, you know.
That's true.
But anyway, it's a start though. It's starting fresh, which is that's what she was trying to do. Still, you know, it's a bit much for me where I was just like, yeah, he is young, but I mean, come on. And with the information that he does give Miss Chu, they find out where Lee Chung-jae was gonna be, and who else knows where Chung-jae is? Gelly. And so did the rest of the crew. I forgot how Gelly even knows. I don't know if she read someone's memory.
Maybe
she did. I forgot. And I do know that they got information from Jae-yul, and that's how the main crew, Somun's crew, found Chung-jae.
Yeah.
And now in the middle of, Gelly finding Chung-jae, the crew literally almost hits Gelly and Jung Jae at the same time. And then she ends up running. And this is where they end up in like some kind of container ship yard.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's where you also see the final battle of Hana and Gelly. And to be honest, I'll just say, yo, Gelly, not gonna lie, you about to get clapped. Hana is mad. And
oh, she's more than mad.
Oh, she is, yeah. And the fact that her should've boyfriend is in a coma. You see, yeah. So she was definitely mad. She was definitely she went as her. You know what I mean? She's her. You know,
yeah.
She was that woman that was gonna get. Yeah, she was gonna clap Gelly. I mean, there's no way that you could go look around that. And even Chung Jae, he shot Jaeul, and luckily Miss Chu and Motak was there because he was able to save. She was able to save him from the gun wound, and Motak was able to literally like subdue Chung Jae, possibly. Or he arrested him too, right? I think he did. And he was able to get the 120 billion won that was embezzled out of the company. And then what happened though? Hana, sis got her. Sis got her. Yeah. She summoned her in the chest. And the way that she summoned her was weird because there was no light. In the darkness, it should have been bright. You know how, like, right under their hand, it should have been like, like just brimming in light. None. And all it was is just Gelly, like, looking like she was getting, like, pummeled in the chest. She's like, ah! And I'm like, I don't know about all that, but yeah, you lost.
Yeah, you lost.
And,
fourth time's a charm and whatnot.
Yeah, was it the fourth? There was a fourth altercation?
Was that the fourth one? Or yeah, because the first one was in the fields.
Yep.
The second one was in the abandoned building where they killed, what's his face, Kim? Or Park?
Oh, yeah, Park
right?
Sung-guk. Yeah.
And then the third one was where she was fighting him for her boyfriend, Dewey. So this was the fourth time they fight.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth time's the charm.
Fourth time, baby. Well, and yeah, I'm not going to count the part where she was fighting Hana in the hotel. She did fight Hana a little bit.
Oh, that's true. But that's
like a sucker punch.
Yeah. She was already got whooped by Mr. Huang, so exactly. Like she wasn't at her full strength.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't both 100%. At their peak. Yeah.
But so a part of me literally forgot because I was telling my wife, I was like, what happened to Gilly? It's like, she got arrested. I'm like, when though? I could. And now that you mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, they did fight, and it was like dark, and she was cutting open all the stuff, and then she was whooping her inside of the container. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good too.
I did like the fact that every time Gelly punched the side of the container, light went in, making certain places darker. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
the look of it with all the rays of light coming seeping through was pretty dope. I like that too. Yeah,
and I'm like, oh wow, I like how they made that because I was like, in all honesty, it would have brightened up that entire container.
A similar thing happens in Logan, where Professor X is inside of the big metal thing, but it's because it's rusted. It's got like rays of light coming through. That vision is always nice. I always enjoy a good light ray coming through into the darkness. Looks always great. So
looks very angelic.
It just looks cool.
I think that a really cool, like, I want to say cinematic.
Yeah. Very much.
Show. Anyway, you see that Hana attempts to go back into someone's mind after they situate themselves, or they resolved Lee Chung Jae's, situation with the money and everything like that. Hana goes and comes back, and that's when we see all those people like Gelly, Mr. Huang, Chung Sin from the first season. When I saw him, I was like, oh snap, he was that good. I thought he was a great villain in any.
Yeah, he was really good.
K-drama. You see all these bad guys in someone's mind, just literally torturing him, going through it all. Yeah. And what snaps him back is literally seeing his parents and him in the car. Yeah. I was just like, you don't show that kid that, because that's literally his entire being is after that accident. After that accident, he only needed to see that for everything else to click. And I'm just like, dang. You know what I mean? Because I believe he blamed himself after his parents passed away. Right. The way they did. Because they wouldn't have if he just said, or if he wanted to eat somewhere or something like that. He didn't want to go to his grandparents' house. Yeah. If he just went to his grandparents' house, they'd be alive. That's what he said. And then you can see that he's all sad, and then you see that the same scene, Hana can see it. She's like, yo, someone, snap back it, man. Snap back. And I saw it too. I was just like, yo, he's kind of far, like the truck's kind of far when he gets in the way between Hana and the truck. And let me say, by the way that Somon grabbed Hana, it would look like that's his woman, right? Not Dewey, right? Just saying. Somon, he grabbed her and was like, I got you. With his whole chest. He said it with his whole chest without words. Okay? And judging by how far that truck was prior to the scene to where it actually stopped, it literally stopped like a foot, maybe a half, like 6 inches from his hand. I was just like, how did the car get there so fast? And, you see all the droplets.
They're
homie's
frozen.
power came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he goes and sees Wee Jin.
Yeah. In the White Ground. That's what the place that's called, White Ground.
Right.
And you can only enter if you're in a coma.
Oh, look at that. Lucky him.
And I'm like, how do you know they can only enter in a coma? Okay, now I'm thinking about something. If you can only enter the White Ground in the coma, Weegen's not in a coma, but Somun was in the coma. None of them were in the coma.
The more you think about it, the more plot holes form.
Yeah, man. When those counterparts find their new counter, they literally have to find that these humans are in a coma. But once they make the contract, if that same human is in a coma, they all go into the White Ground. And I'm like, there should be more of them in the weekend in the White Ground. Not because I'm saying that counters are weak, but I mean, there's going to be a couple. I mean, there's the whole globe has their own counter system.
Right.
So you would think that the White Ground is shared amongst the entire nation, or the world. But I guess that's not the case, because in this case, seeing Weekend in the White Ground, it looked very traumatic to her. She's like, oh, Somun. She's like grandchild, almost, At least, and then I was just like, can you imagine being that actress just in that room, in that green screen room, and then just having to watch her do all these like weird, almost ritualistic movements, like can you imagine? And just not laugh? I don't know, maybe because of what the scene was about, you didn't laugh, but still, that's kind of funny. I wouldn't be able to be in that room,
right,
if I saw the actress for Weekend do that. And then you see Somun appear and literally gets his perm back.
Yeah.
He gets his perm back. And he didn't need to go to a salon. Hacks.
Yeah. So if you want a perm,
White Ground.
Yep. Exactly.
Save Weekend at the White Ground, yeah.
But yeah, so I think I had only like one real that's it. It's like there was only one episode of Somun without his ability. I was kind of like, I was hoping for more so that we could see a little bit. I mean, not that they haven't been, but to see them struggle without having him, right? Because season 1, you brought something up earlier that I agree 100%, which is season 1. You see how well established the counters are, and then season 2 looked like everybody is unable to do things without Somun in the room, right? And Motok, you were saying that he it looks like he's like not that good. Like they kind of like downplayed his abilities in the second season in comparison to the first season, which is interesting, right? And I think they did that so that Somun looks more powerful, but I think the opposite occurred, that it just made Motok look weaker. Yeah. Right? Like he's the brand new guy in this whole situation.
Absolutely.
So I completely agree. I think that was a unfortunate situation that occurred from that. And so I would have liked to see Somun unconscious for another episode before doing it, and them go through like struggles, and then come to the realization like we still can. We're still strong. We still have the ability to fight off these demons, evil spirits. Right. Because it's not just because Somun is here that we're able to. And that's just a personal thing that I noticed once they brought him back in the end of episode 9. I was like, that's it. Yeah. He wasn't really. I mean, he was just like asleep for a day. That was it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to deal with that every bad guy in the season 2 were level 3. They were all chunks.
Super strong. And the argument can be made that their fight with Gilly was that moment of them going, we could still be good even without Somun, right? But I just don't feel like it was long enough of a period for them to do it. And I get it. We're already here at episode 9. There's only 3 more episodes left. Not much left to like explore before the ending. So
right.
They should have probably done that a little earlier in the season. That's just my little gripe of him being unconscious, because it almost seemed like pointless for him to be unconscious because nothing really happened except fighting Gilly, right?
I think with this, they took damage. Huang and Mr. Ma, they took damage. And the second thing is Huang did not know where they were. where Mr. Ma can figure that out. Mr. Ma literally dragged out Someone's grandmother, remember? And then the grandmother was picked up at the police station, so they're no longer there. And so Director Choi was outside of the house, and Mr. Ma literally comes and chokes out Director Choi to get the location of the crew. And he finds the location, and then he just kind of dips out. And that's the end of it for him on that episode.
Yeah. There wasn't really much about it.
But he found a spot.
Yeah, he did. But I think it's also because he like started seeing other things. Because episode 10 kind of opens up with Mr. Ma thinking about So-moon and the relationship that they had, because I think it opens up with like So-moon coming up to him and is like, "Are you Mr. Ma?" Like, and then he's like, "Yeah," and then he gives him a big hug and he's like, "Thank you for saving my grandma." He's like, "It's part of my job." He's like, "No, you don't understand, right?" He's like, "She's my whole life, right?" So he's like, "I'm gonna protect you." I remember when he said that, and I'm just thinking like, as a grown up, he's like, "But you're a kid," which is pretty much what he says. Like, I'll do the protecting. You just stay in school was pretty much what he told. So you can see that he's still him. There's still that internal struggle with the demon, the evil spirit, right inside of which I tried to like episode 10. I was trying to do the evil spirit voice the whole time, and I was like, "Yo, this girl must have like Hollingers just sitting sitting next to her mic, just like popping them in every time she has to do the scene, you know." So with that, we have Mr. Ma and then Mr. Huang fight it out, right? Because Mr. Huang is pissed, and Mr. Ma is like, "This is not what I want. This is not what I signed up for. I signed up for revenge on what's his face, not to deal with whatever petty stuff you want to do. I don't care about your stuff." And so Mr. Huang is like, "You're right. You're not the one who changed. I'm the one who changed."
Right.
And then, so they start fighting. And in the process of fighting, Mr. Huang is like pretty much beating him, but he's only beating him because he took him off guard. He did not. Mr. Ma did not expect Mr. Huang taking him, like fighting him.
Right.
So that was the only reason why he was beating him. He's about to kill him. Right. He's like, "I'm going to absorb your abilities. If I have your abilities, I'll be able to destroy the counters." Yeah. Because they don't know that So-moon is back. They think he's still unconscious, or that he lost his abilities. So he's about to kill him, and right when So-moon comes back to consciousness, or he's getting his powers back, territory comes back up, and it like takes pretty much all of they're not in Seoul, right? They're in a different city. I don't think they were in Seoul.
Ooh.
Yeah, are they in Seoul? No, right?
I
thought it was a different. I thought it was a different city.
I don't know.
I don't know if they ever mentioned what city they're in, but whatever city, it's like it just pretty much territory goes everywhere. And in doing so, we then find out that Mr. Ma can now absorb territory? Question mark? What?
Yeah.
What is going on?
He can absorb it and use it as power. Correct?
Right. Yeah. The same way counters can.
Yeah.
He gets powerful inside a territory. So as Mr. Huang is about to kill him, he like becomes stronger, and the evil spirit inside of him is like, "Oh, that's time to kill him," and she's like breaking his hands, and pretty much almost does. Right, but Mr. Ma being Mr. Ma, he's like, he leaves him laying there and leaves. And Mr. Huang is like, "Wait, so not only can you see territories, not only can you communicate through territories, not only can you do this and that, but you can now absorb territories?" He's super jelly. He's just like, "Why you? Why not me?
Right? Why
I want this power? He was so mad, bleeding out, but he didn't die. But I was just like, wait, now he can absorb the territories? What is going on?
His power just kept growing exponentially.
And they find out because Hana can like she saw them fighting in her visions and whatever, and they're now at a meeting with the counterparts.
Yeah, that just goes to show how much more powerful Hana got too with her with her powers. Miss Chu, I'm not sure how much more powerful she got because her whole head is gray now.
I was gonna say I would think that Miss Chu is the opposite direction, right? The more she uses her power, I feel like the weaker she becomes because she's putting life force into the people. She is becoming weaker. Not that she can't fight or anything, but it's just like there's a limit to her ability, right? Once she reaches her limit, she dies.
I don't know about all that because she's still in the team, and
I get that, but remember when she saved So-moon in season 1, she almost died because she gave up so much of her life force to save him.
Because he was close to death, right?
I agree.
I think her power, she'll die depending on how much power she has to give out, because she also saves other people after the fact that she did that with Soul Moon. You would only think she has a little bit in the tank, but I think it's based off of the life force given at that moment. So if someone
think she regenerates? Is that your argument?
I think she's like a battery. Yeah.
I don't say
Lithium battery.
I don't think she's a battery. I think her hair is a great indicator of how much power she has left.
She ain't got any black hair left. It's gone.
Her hair is gray. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like Weejen. She has white.
Weejen is white. Yeah, she got. Weejen got that Bob Barker hair. You know what I'm saying?
So if you get to that point, then we can start saying, okay, she ain't dead. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like her hair is a indicator of how much more she can give, and it could be that healing a gunshot wound, right, that isn't super severe, is
like a strand of hair.
Yeah, like oh, it's not a lot, right? So I do agree that how close you are to death will indicate that, like how much energy she would use up. I'm just saying her hair is an indicator of how much she has left, and if she uses it all up, I don't think she regenerates. I think she just eventually just.
See, right now this is just a theory. There's nothing to back it up yet.
No.
And I also agree with him on that. I think she might die. They don't make it seem like that. They don't make it seem like, yo, don't use your powers. They actually go to her often.
Right.
You know?
But I don't think people know. I mean, you may be right, man. I mean, you might be right that it's definitely a regenerative power that.
I think Motok would have at least figured it out. Because, I mean, he's like, his homegirl now has white hair out of nowhere, you know? Sorry for moving the table.
That's twice.
So, yeah, I think it's my stomach, to be honest. But, and so, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards you more. I'm just not 100% sure. I'm more like 80% sure.
Yeah.
And that 20% sure is punching me in the gut, being like, "Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure, dog?
Are you sure?
You sure?
Sure.
Are you sure?"
But yeah, so that whole situation happens, and we're kind of like left like, what the heck is going on? And then you have Lee, right? That's his last name.
Who?
The bad guy. What's it? Lee?
Chung Jae.
Yeah. Yeah, Chung Jae, who's arrested. He's about to go to prison, right? Mm-hmm. And you have Motok in the car with him, or in the van, the bus.
Yeah.
The transport bus, right? And he's like, "You better protect me." I'm like, "Homie, you lucky he's even like sitting in this bus with you." Okay, you are part of the reason why Mr. Ma is who he is right now. Which so is like, just shh.
Hush your lip.
Yeah. Just sit there in silence. Think about the regret the things you've done in your life.
For real.
But yeah, so we have that whole situation happening, and they're going down, and you have the rest of the counters behind them.
Right.
In their what did you call their vehicle? What's the mystery bus? The mystery
machine.
The mystery machine, right in the back. And then So Moon is at the prison, making sure they're all just like, "Yo, we know Mr. Ma's gonna come out. He's gonna try to kill him and stuff." And they were right. He was waiting for them not at either of the two spots. He was waiting somewhere in the middle.
And were they at the bus? Where'd the bus go?
Once Mr. Ma took it.
Yeah.
Once Mr. Ma took it, he took it to the cemetery.
The cemetery
of where Minji is.
Right.
And his mom was there.
Yes, I remember. And I think the mom being there actually played a big role in the character for Ma, Mr. Ma.
Yeah.
Because wasn't like didn't he like attack her?
Yeah, well, so he's about to kill him, right? He's actually gonna commit like murder suicide. Yeah. Because he's putting like all this
all the smoke
inside of the inside of the thing, the what do you call it? The cabin. Gosh darn it. Right? And he's like, "Oh, please don't kill me." He's like, "He's going to kill you, bro." But he's like, "I'm going to die too. We're going to die together." Yeah. Right? And proving my point, his idea was to kill them and then just die or get arrested or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's all he wanted. And of course, the evil spirit inside is like, "What are you doing? Stop this. What are you doing? Stop it." Hey, that was pretty good.
That was a great one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I was working.
Yeah.
Right? But he's like, "Nah, it's my turn, right?"
Yeah.
Of course, the mom comes out, and they're like, she's freaking out. She realizes it's her son, and she's trying to convince him not to do this stuff. And he somehow, I don't understand how Mr. Lee got out the freaking window. I thought these windows would have been bulletproof, but my wife is like, well, they don't really have guns out there, so why would it be bulletproof? I'm like, you got a good point. I guess it doesn't have to be bulletproof. But he gets out and he's chasing him, but the mom gets in the way, and that's when the evil spirit kind of takes control and starts choking out his mom, and he's trying to stop it, but he can't. Right, the evil spirit is gaining more and more control of his body, and so she is the one choking out the mom, and he is trying. No, I don't want to do this. And luckily, Somun comes in time, forces them off of her, and they start having a little battle of their own. But he brings up the territory unknowingly and realizes that, oh, shoot, Mr. Ma gets power from the territories now? So he's losing. Somun is getting whooped, right? The mom is barely unconscious or barely conscious. Jokbun grabs the mom, kind of carries her out of there. They're having a fight, but then Mr. Ma starts, he has a piece of glass and he's trying to stab Somun. With that, Motok shoots at him.
Yeah.
Although I would think it was a blank. I'm like, I don't know why you have a blank though. You already know he's dangerous.
Shoot his leg, dog.
And Mr. Ma is he's no more oh, maybe. No, he is for sure against Motok. Motok is against Mr. Ma. That's what I meant to say. Motok is no more. He is evil spirit through and through. It's time to deal with him like counters deal with evil spirit.
Exactly.
Right? But
he wasn't having it.
No, yeah. But Somun is no, we could probably still get to him or something, because he feels like he can't. With that, he lets him go. Yeah. Right. And you're just kind of what the heck, bro? Seriously. Although I blame I blame Motok for letting Mr. Ma go. Although Mr. Ma blames Somun. Somun was about to chase him. And Motok grabs wait, no, what's going on? And I'm like, bro, why are you stopping him? And then later he's like, you let him go. I'm like, nah, homie, you let him go.
Yeah. Actually, I was pretty angry at Mr. Motok there during that part where he was like, no, there's no going back, because I believe he hurt. Oh, that's right, because he hurt his partner, right?
No. It was just one of the guards of the bus.
Oh, that's right.
It was just a guard.
Right. I thought they were okay. And so seeing Motok go like that, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, But then I understand, because Motok can think that way, because he's a cop.
He's a cop,
so he can think objectively. He can't just think with the heart, because that's not how you solve all these cases. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Bad guys are bad guys.
Yeah.
And he sees Mr. Ma as a bad guy for sure.
100%. And yeah, I wasn't really liking that part of Motok, really, because I'm just like, come on, dude. I mean, who's gonna believe him if anybody else? It's got to be you guys. No one else will. Let everybody else think that way. You got to be thinking differently. But that's just me, because it's the type of show it is. And that's the kind of person I am when I'm watching shows like that. So, that's just me. I don't know how you feel about it, but yeah.
No, I agree. I understand that for sure.
Yeah.
So we're left with pretty much the end where Mr. Huang, he goes and sees Lee, and Lee's like, how are you at the prison? How did you get in here? I'm like, bro, he's really good at getting in and out of prison. He's done it a few times now.
That dude is a ghost.
They ain't stopping him. And he ends up killing him and cuts off his head, puts it in a box, and then goes to the broadcasting news station.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he has the bloody box in his hand, and he kind of throws it, and the head rolls out. This is the part that really kind of got me confused. Now, I might be wrong, but I thought that weapons in South Korea are illegal. Right? Because not even cops have them. Only in rare occasions are cops able to carry a weapon, right? When they know they're going to be dealing with a deadly encounter. Yeah. Right? When I saw the security guards all pull out guns, I was like, I'm sorry, what? At a news broadcasting station? I'm like, huh? Why do these security guards have guns? I'm super confused. So if there's some kind of law that allows them, let me know, because I was very confused. Was that just for flavor of the show, or is that an actual thing? Can security guards?
It could be probably for the flavor of the show.
I don't know, but it doesn't make sense if
counters don't exist.
I agree.
As far as we know,
but Korea does.
Korea exists, sure. But
so if you're in this country And as far as we know, it's not an alternate universe. I mean, I guess it is an alternate universe, but for the most part, the rules all apply the same, right? Or else all cops would be carrying guns all the time over there, but they're not. So that was very confusing to me. But he goes, like the news people are like, what's going on? And he pretty much goes on TV and says, I just killed Lee. And guess what? And he's now talking directly to Mr. Ma. He says, and guess what? You know that part of the truth that you've been missing out on? Well, I'm that part of the truth. And he pretty much tells him, I'm the one who killed Minji, right? And so that causes Mr. Ma to come to him, which is what he wanted. And he comes to him and he chokes him out. And in doing so, he's seeing the memories of Mr. Huang and sees that, yeah, he was the one that was the whole time was the only one to blame. And you have been helping the person you truly wanted to kill this whole time. Right? And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I don't understand, why is Mr. Huang letting this happen? I'm very confused.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
And he goes and Mr. Ma breaks Mr. Huang's neck. And I'm just like, what? Why would Mr. Huang want that? That doesn't make... I was so upset. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. There's two more episodes to go. And he bends over and he absorbs the evil spirit.
Yep.
And then it becomes crystal clear why he was doing it. The evil spirit, Mr. Huang's evil spirit, goes into his body and freaking commando sneak behind Team SEAL 6 situation behind Mr. Ma's evil spirit and chokes it out.
Yeah, I'm like, how in the world how can he win? It didn't make sense.
Because
But Mr. Ma isn't, or the evil spirit isn't Mr. Ma. Mr. Ma is the one that was able to get all these powers. It wasn't the evil spirit. The evil spirit just so happens to be in the greatest body in the entire world.
And on top of it, so I was wondering the same, like, wait, how did this happen? But you have to also think Mr. Huang's evil spirit was in full control of Mr. Huang. Mr. Ma's evil spirit is not in full control. She is still, and remember that before he went to go kill Mr. Huang, he was going to go to So Moon and allow him to summon the evil spirit at him. He was done. He's like, okay, I'm gonna, you know what? I give up on the revenge situation. He was ready to let it all go, but it was only because he watched the broadcast that he's like, oh heck no, now I gotta go kill him. And in the moment of like letting go of his rage, his evil spirit disappeared, right? Got absorbed into the ether of evilness or whatever. I don't know. So it was already weakened. That's why that whole situation, and that's why Mr. Huang evil spirit was able to overcome Mr. Ma's evil spirit. I'm assuming killing it or absorbing it. I don't know how you want to call it, what happened there, but he probably absorbed Mr. Ma's evil spirit, leading to Mr. Huang's evil spirit, what seems to be at the end of the episode, taking full control of Mr. Ma's body. And I just sat there going, oh, that was genius.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But see, nothing led up to a possibility that could happen.
That's
That's the only thing I'll just say, whoa. I'm just like,
why?
I was like, okay, so the end of this episode was a little bit different from the end of episode 8. The end of episode 8, I was just like, okay, there's gonna be some whack episodes, right? And that big surprise, I'm just like, how exactly is 11 and 12 gonna play out?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be bad.
And I'm just like, okay, let's think. What could possibly go on, during this? Like what's some things that's gonna happen? And I was just like, is Mr. Ma the complete spirit, or is Mr. Huang the complete spirit? Because technically, it should be Mr. Ma, no, right? It should be Mr. Ma. It should be, if you think about it, because he absorbed Mr. Huang, but Mr. Huang's spirit choked out. Mr. Ma's spirit. And I'm just like, so what that's not a complete spirit, then it would be half. That's at least
now it's a super Saiyan spirit. It's reached a whole new level.
The perfect cell spirit, dude.
You're right.
No, but I think that I don't know. What was your first impression after, against the Mr. Ma spirit?
We're effed. I was just like, that was genius. I understand. Like, it made sense to me. To me, it made sense. And I'm like, yeah, you played right into Mr. Huang's hands. Like, he knew that he would be able to overcome the other spirit because the other spirit was not in full control. Right? And on top of that, the moment you absorb the other spirit, right, you become more evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So by
absolutely.
Mr. Huang's evil spirit, you're done. You're done. One of the two was going to win that fight. Either Mr. Huang's evil spirit or Mr. Ma's evil spirit was going to take over Mr. Ma's body at that moment.
Yeah.
No questions asked, right? Because he absorbed another one. But the idea that Mr. Huang's evil spirit came from behind and just like
Right.
go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I didn't see that happening.
Go to sleep in the sledge.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I thought. I
was like, dang.
I was just like, okay, when Mr. Ma kills Mr. Huang, I thought to myself, it's not over. I was like, Mr. Ma has no reason to fight any longer after Mr. Huang's gone and Lee Chung-jae is gone. I was just like, his whole vendetta is finished. I was just like, technically his character arc is done after he killed Mr. Huang.
Episode 11 is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's going to start from where they ended, like,
Yeah.
or right before the killing of, and that's just going to rile me up again, And I think that's where, the first 10 minutes of it after that recap is kind of where we're going to see where the rest of the show is going to, because I was like, let's think about it. Gelly's out, Wong is out, Motak and Miss Chu are still, they're good, and Hana's good, and Somun is back. So, and Jokbung is also good, just like everyone's good. What else, I was just like, if they have one singular evil spirit to go after, it makes it a lot easier.
Who has all of the powers.
Yeah, he has, like, I would say he's a level 6, because
I think that's a fair level number for him.
Because did he absorb that other spirit's powers? I don't think so, but we'll know next episode.
So stay tuned for the last 2 episodes of this series. I don't know, man, it's gonna be crazy.
It's been a fun series, y'all. I mean, I like breaking down each and every one of these episodes, and I hope you guys have too. And that's gonna wrap up this episode. Don't forget to follow us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Anchor FM. You can listen to us every Monday on Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out our videos and leave a comment below. And don't forget, turn it to 11, baby.